Welcome to Max in Review with Breaking the Stream Gaming. Today, I'll continue with the conquest of Anweir in Birthright, the Gorgon's Alliance. Picking up from where we left off, let me just take care of my taxation situation real quick. Most of these are going to be on light taxation for the rest of the game. I could build law holdings in them to get a little bit more income out of them, but honestly, it would take so many actions to get this done. I think that it's really not viable. We don't have any territories that we can annex this turn, so it looks like we're going to be starting up a new war, probably with Thurazon. I think that they're next in line to face our wrath. We're sitting at a good amount of gold here, so I think that I might recruit a good number of troops to help me out with this conquest. Now, they've got a lot of castles, so this is probably going to take quite a while to actually take them out. It does look like we have a couple of, actually a good number of source holdings though, so I could forge ley lines there to take those castles down, but honestly, they're only level 2 and 3 castles, so I think it's more just worthwhile to spend a couple of turns tearing them down manually. Now, we also still need to capture the last territory held by Thurazon, our former ally, but we'll take care of that next turn. So at this point, most of these troops here are unnecessary. I'm going to keep one troop in each of these two territories just to block the escape from Darley till I can capture that next turn. But otherwise, I think that we're probably going to go ahead and aggregate these into a couple of, I'll call them super armies. So why don't I muster here in Nolian to begin with. Actually, it looks like Chaos has a unit in Bajandrik, so I'll go ahead and deal with him first. So I think that I will probably have three main armies, one led by Aeles, one led by this faceless one, and one led by my regent. Okay, let's see, a couple of skeletons. Actually, we should have a lot of skeletons. Where are they? Are they... Only two of them are up there. And actually, I'm going to steal those and set them down. They got stuck over here for some reason.
Yes, Regent. Your Highness, my liege. Yes, Regent. Your bidding. Consider it done. Your bidding, my liege. Your bidding, my liege.
I could have sworn that we had more skeletons than that. I guess we do have a good number there, so that's fine. Okay, so for my lieutenant action, I'm going to continue to summon skeletons. Those are working out much better than I expected, so I think I'll probably be doing this for the rest of the game as long as I don't need that lieutenant action for something else. Now, I am going to want a few elven cavalry to be accompanying those skeletons. So what I think I'll do is I'll take two cavalry, send them over that way. And I'm going to make Aeles the leader of this army here.
My liege, your highness.
And the eyeless one I am going to send to lead the other army.
Consider it your highness, my liege.
You know, that's actually that's too many skeletons. That's more than we need there. So let me just move these cavalry up the unit order. I wish that there was a better way of doing this, but I guess for 1995 when this came out, this was kind of the best way. So I think I'll go ahead and leave 4 skeletons in that stack.
My liege.
Over here, I want a couple more elven cavalry there. So with our money, let's go ahead and do a little bit of mustering back in Kimbir here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and recruit all 6 of them that I can.
Your Highness.
And let's see, 4 of those
It
I
shall
will
be
send
done.
over to my regent stack,
My liege. Of course, your bidding.
and I'll move them up just so that they're above the skeletons.
My liege.
Let's see, 3 cavalry and 4 skeletons. I'll give him 1 extra. I'll move both of them in there because I'm going to send the other over to Aelius there.
Yes, my liege. Your Highness, your bidding. Your bidding, as you wish. Your Highness, my liege.
Okay. Aelius can use some skeletons of his own, but we'll get those to him next turn. Okay. Is there anything else I need to do before I go to war with Thurazon? So I believe that from Nolian, I'll be able to cross into Blood Bay here. I don't think I can go to Falling Timber, but if I can, all the better, and I will. From Trotabine, I'm going to head here to Murgarote, and I'm actually going to use the move the Regent down a little bit and move him into Doom's Peak.
Your bidding, it shall be done.
Now, I do need backup troops to prevent any retreats into my territory, but I can use some of these troops up there to do that. Okay, so let me just check. Do I have any adventures? Nope. Okay, so now I will declare war on Thurazon. And we'll see if they attack Riverford, since that's the only lightly defended territory they have access to. Gorgon's Crown is going after the Sealwoad. That's unfortunate for them, but you know, in the end, there can only be one. There can be only one.
It's your turn.
Actually, it looks like the Sealwoad has lost quite a bit of territory here, but I mean, I'd have to go through the Gorgon's Crown to deal with them, and who wants to, you know, bother with all of that when I could just be expanding westward? Okay, let's see. The troop in Bjandrig has been taken out, so that's no longer a concern. I'll leave those guys up there for now. All right, let's begin the invasion. I think I'm just gonna go ahead and move everything in.
Your Highness, yes, Regent. Your Highness.
Let me just see if I can move
as
into.
you wish. My liege.
According to that, he can move into
Your Highness.
Falling
Yes,
Timber.
Regent.
Yeah, I don't think that he actually can.
Consider it
So I'll
done.
just cross into the Blood Bay.
Your
I'll move
bidding,
this
of
troop down
course,
to
my
Nolian to
liege.
prevent any retreats. I do need 2 more units actually, so why don't I go ahead and muster those.
Your bidding, of course, my liege. My liege, your highness. Consider it
Your
your
bidding?
highness.
As you wish.
Regent.
Now we have all of our borders covered. Nothing can retreat into Bjandrig, I don't think, so that should be fine for the time being. Let's see. Now you know, I probably should have split my stacks up a little bit more, just because they're heavily concentrated and they're going to be stuck there until those castles are destroyed. So you know, I have enough units elsewhere that I can just bring in to deal with that. Actually, that's a good point. Why don't I go ahead and finish mustering here? Another 2 Elvish Cavalry. And can I get any other Elven Cavalry as I can? 2 more. So that's going to leave us with only 10 gold left. I'm not sure how I feel about that, so let's just do 3. That'll leave us 18 gold with which to do actions on our turn.
Your
Okay,
bidding,
so from here,
your
let's
bidding.
combine those into
Consider
a
it
single
your
stack.
bidding, of course, my liege.
And then, well,
Consider it
I don't want to
done.
move them in
My
just yet. I
liege,
think
my
that
liege.
I need to
Of course,
defeat
your
these
highness.
armies before I can make use of that. Okay. Let's see. Anything that I want to do other than just ruling or making a trade route? No, I think that I will just make a trade route. Why not?
Succeeded.
That'll give us a little bit more income going forward. Looks like one of my units was assassinated in Riverford. Okay, this will be a big fight, but I'm not at all concerned about it.
Your Majesty?
Ailey's in the middle. Go ahead and put Skeleton out there. And I'm just going to fill this up with Elvish Cavalry. Skeleton, I'm going to move up and then replace him with another Elvish Cavalry.
Victory draws near, Your Majesty.
Is it ready, Your Highness?
Yes? Your orders? Archers at the ready. Yes? Right. Archers at the ready. Yes? Your orders? Yes. Your command. Yes. Your command. Yes. Archers at the ready. I'll do it soon. Right. Archers at the ready. Yes? Yes? Pull out! Your orders?
Okay, that went well. This one, I bother fighting myself, and same with that one. Oh, we lost a unit.
Your
It's
bidding.
your turn.
Looks like we lost one of our skeletons. That's actually kind of surprising, but
Your
what can
Highness
you do?
bidding. Your
Okay.
Highness.
We'll go ahead and take our cavalry here and see if we can move them into
Of
falling
course,
timber. Okay, good, we could.
Your Highness.
Let's see if we can split off just 2 of those cavalry and send them down here. Okay, that worked. That leaves just Storm's Release, which we won't be able to get to this turn, unfortunately. But that's fine. This will be a good start, and we need to secure these sequentially anyway, just because it takes so many actions to actually invest in them. So let's see. All of my borders are secured. I suppose I'm just gonna make another trade route. Get us just a little bit more income.
Succeeded.
Ooh. Well, that's a much larger army than I thought it was. And these no goblin infantry have bows, so that might have been a mistake there. I'm gonna go ahead and we'll see how this goes. I might lose this one though. Probably not though.
Your orders? Your command. Archers at the ready. 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 Your command. Archers at the ready. 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 Your orders? Archers at the ready. 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 Yes. Done. Archers at the ready. Archers at the ready. Yes. Archers at the ready. command. Consider it done. Archers at the ready. Your orders? Your orders? Archers at the ready. 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 Yes? Done. Archers at the ready. 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 Archers at the ready.
That unit of goblins just did not want to die. Okay, easy enough.
Majesty, as Chamberlain,
My liege.
I have your report of the realm's loyalties, Your Majesty.
Okay, so far, only one realm has been wiped out. That would be Cariel. This turn, a second realm, Thurazon here, is going to be taken out. Let's see. And then now, we're starting to work on Thurazon. Oh, Sentry, what happened there? Somebody... Thurazon, it looks like, caused a rebellion there. That's fine. It'll cost us a little bit of tax revenue, but nothing to be concerned about. Okay, so taxation-wise, Darlane is now within our sphere of influence, so I'll go ahead and claim that one this turn. Taxes came in a little bit better than expected. Given that I'm sitting on 400 Regency, I'm just going to go ahead and pay pretty much all of my troops out of Regency. Maybe not all, but that'll do.
It's your turn.
Okay, so looking at this, the Falling Timber Castle has fallen, as has the Crushing Hill. Murgarote is down to level 2, so this will be... Storm's Release and Murgarote are both level 2, so those will be the last to fall. I do need to declare war against Thurazon one last time to get troops into Storm's Release there. And let's see... Thurazon, I'll reclaim that second. First, they keep increasing the level of that province, so that's nice because I'm just going to get a higher level province, which means more taxes. But first, I am going to declare war on Thurazon again.
It's your turn.
Unfortunately for Thurazon, they don't have any full allies, so nobody's willing to go to war with me to protect them.
My liege, your highness,
Okay, let's see here. That force is fairly weak because they split troops off to go to Fallen Timber. So why don't I go ahead and send 2 skeletons and also that's kind of a lot. 2 cavalry for here.
my liege.
And from there I will go ahead and send...
Your highness,
I want to send that entire force up there.
liege. Your bidding,
Yeah, I'm just going to move this...
Force besieged.
Oh,
Troops
that's
commanded
right. I
by-
can't move the entire force there. I'll send
your
everything
highness,
but
yes,
up there. And then I'll reinforce her with... Actually, why don't I go ahead and use my lieutenant action to summon a couple more skeletons. And we use those to reinforce the Blood Bay. It's level 4 territory, so they can't muster any more than 4 troops in a given turn. So 3 skeletons plus a wizard should be more than sufficient to handle anything they can possibly send at us.
your highness.
Here, that army is entirely capable of taking
my
that.
liege.
That should be fine. Yeah, so I think that now we should be good to hold each of those territories, barring assassinations. Let's see. want to go ahead and claim this now. Looks like Tellini is going to be next up in our path of conquest. It also looks like they've lost quite a bit of their original territory, but they've basically taken over the bulk of the Five Peaks' territory. So that's sort of an interesting situation going on between Tellini and Buerwin. Okay, let's go ahead and just do an investiture to eliminate Thurazon from the game.
Succeeded.
Alright, and our empire continues to grow. It has a regent, and I believe he's a wizard, so I might as well
I'll get on that right.
deploy. So I think my strategy going forward is going to be to drop out skeletons first and move them up, and then bring in my elvish cavalry behind them.
Yes. We shall have them. Archers at the ready.
Oh wow.
Archers at the ready.
Right, there's a regent.
Wizard
Your
ready, Your
command.
Highness.
Your orders. Archers at the ready. Your command. Your command. Your order.
Okay, that could have gone better, but I didn't lose any troops, so I'm not going to complain.
It's your turn.
Okay, so I've eliminated Thurazon. These troops are now freed up to
Your
come and
bidding, my liege?
reinforce. So
Your
let's
bidding, of course,
gather
your
them
bidding.
together
It
down
shall be
here.
done. Your Highness, it shall be done. Your bidding, of course, my liege.
And I'll go ahead and just move that entire stack into the Blood Bay to reinforce our
Bidding, it
lieutenant
shall be
there.
done.
Majesty?
Your Highness,
Yes, Regent?
my liege,
Yes, Regent?
my liege.
Okay, the Eyeless One now has the weakest army, it looks like, but that's fine. I mean,
Your Highness,
he'll be able to hold anything that they can muster there. So now, I think that what I need to do is start planning a little bit longer term. So, things that are going to give me issues in the future, I think, are going to be some of these larger castles down here. So Buerwin has a 6, a 4, and a 4, just for the time being. So why don't I go ahead and see if I can create a source holding in Siege. So let's do this. It's Buerwin, Siege, source holding. They'll probably oppose this, but they didn't
Succeeded.
even bother. Okay, now that I've done that, next turn I can link up a ley line to there, and that will allow me to cast the rage spell once I need to, which will be in quite a few more turns. They have a regent, so I will take the lead on this one.
I'll get on that
Your
right.
command.
I mean, in this case, I'm just going to swarm him with cavalry.
Command. Done. Yes. Done. Your command.
Victory draws near, Your Majesty.
Yes. Your command. Consider it done.
Your Majesty,
Consider it your orders. Done. Archers at your command. We're a bit busy.
I don't know what just happened there. Let's see. I don't want to route. Shoot. Okay, well, not what I wanted to do, but that's the danger of using a wizard. I'd rather... I should have just let my troops melee them down so that the units actually die.
Here is the current report.
Okay, we're making steady strides here. If you notice that our points come entirely from our own provinces, as opposed to some of the others where they get them from alliances. I suppose we do still have the Seal Woad as an ally, but they'll probably be eliminated soon anyway. No adventures, and we have the one investiture that we did. But Zandrig is recovering their relations with us, so that's fine. Looks like we have two territories that we can annex this turn, and they're both level 4 territories, so that's going to result in a nice little chunk of change there. At this point, I'm probably going to hold off on recruiting any more units unless I really need them for the time being, just because our income is still only approximately 30 per turn, so doing the upkeep for more units that we don't need it's kind of pointless.
It's your turn.
Okay, it looks like Chaos moved troops into Somnolent. Just a spider, so nothing we can't handle. Why don't I go ahead and start off by summoning more skeletons. Oh, and actually we can summon them directly into there, thanks to our ley line, so don't even have to pay the cost to move them. Great. Okay, that should be more than sufficient to deal with a unit of spiders. Now, let's see, which areas can we annex? We can annex... Let's go ahead and take the falling timbers first. Is there anything that I want to do before I start this off? Declaration of War is the only thing that needs to be done in the first 2 actions, and frankly, I don't want to start another war before I resolve this one, so I don't really see a reason to do that. Yeah, no, I'm just going to start taking their territory. So, Fallen Timber.
Waiting for an opponent.
They tried to modify it, but we have crazy Regency reserves at this point, so nothing they can really do. Ah, that's something we need to do. We do need to assassinate the Thurazon regents so that we can actually eliminate them eventually. Well, why don't I go ahead and do that now, just to get a better idea if we're going to be able to make progress on that this turn. They're in Storm's Release, I believe. So spending quite a bit of Regency to find an assassin. Hopefully we get decent odds. It's going to be 50-50, so we'll see how that goes.
Assassination attempt did not succeed.
Shoot. Oh well. I don't really... Now this is something that I'll consider. I mean, they're offering me gold per turn of 2, so that's nice. And a holding, which I don't care about, and they're requesting a holding that I don't care about. Yeah, you know what? Why don't I go ahead and accept that? I don't even know where Torrent is on the map. Yeah, they're way down here, so by the time we make our way down there to attack them, you know, doesn't really matter.
Succeeded. It's your turn.
Okay, now the question is, do we annex Crushing Hills, or do we try to assassinate their leader again? I think that I'm going to go ahead and just focus on assassinating him. Just because I'm not sure if we'll decrease the level of that castle with him still present there.
Assassination attempt.
Okay, better odds this time. About a 70% chance of success.
Assassination attempt did not succeed.
Oh, man. Well, that's rotten luck, but what can you do? Okay, I think that I will call this one here. I will pick up next time with the conquest of Thurazor. Thanks for watching.